त्यांनी ते स्क्रीन शेअर केलं होतं. एक दोन मिनिटं
तुम्ही बोलले ना आता आवाज गेला तिकडे.
हां हॅलो हॅलो हॅलो
चॅट मध्ये दिसत नाही.
काहीतरी आलं होतं मेसेज. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Tell me.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. It was just test.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
लिखायचं मग बोलायचं.
ते त्याला बंद करून ठेवा. तुम्ही काय बोलता तिकडे चालू.
हॅलो हॅलो
यस सर.
हा हॅलो आवाज येतोय ना?
बोडके सर, वी आर गेटिंग युअर व्हॉइस.
येस येस आय गॉट इट. हॅलो
हा सर, बोला ना.
हा हा व्हिडिओ दिसत नाही अजून, चालू झाल्यावर दिसेल वाटतं ना काही?
हो हो हो, चालू केल्यावर दिसून
ते
देईल.
फक्त टॉपिकचं नाव आलंय येलो कलर मध्ये.
हो, चालू करतोय.
बर बर.
1 सेकंड.
हा मी जरा इंट्रोडक्शन देईल तुम्हाला स्टार्टिंगला, नंतर मग तुमच्याकडे हँडओव्हर करतो. हा
येस येस
तुम्ही सांगा तेव्हा मी सुरू करेल.
येस सर, येस सर.
ओके ओके चालतं, ठीक आहे. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Can we start?
Yes, sir. You can.
Hello.
Uh, yes, Mr. Prakash, I think we have around 155 participants. Should we wait for another 5 minutes so that many other can join in, or we can start?
Okay. Okay.
Let's just wait for another 5 minutes because we'll start at 3:15. Let's see how many people can join in.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Jishanji, share
Yeah.
your screen. Yes. Okay, fine.
Hello.
Hello, yes, Prakash sir.
May I can start?
Yeah, I mean, you can go ahead with the introduction, and until that, let's
Okay.
see how many
Okay.
people.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, yes. Uh, welcome everyone. Very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Dr. P.S. Bodke, and I am the librarian at KK Institute of Engineering Education and Research. Today we are presenting national webinar organized by our Kusumagra Central Library on effective and efficient writing of research paper for Web of Science, Scopus, Indian journals, and conference papers using typeset research studio means read quality, publish quality, write effectively. Before we get started, I would like to tell you if you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the question box. We will bring them up during the permission, and we will also have time for question at end. Now, without further delay, we will turn the time over to our speaker, Mr. Jansen Ahmad, trainer and consultant at Nexon Subscription Company, which is helping institute to increase their research productivities. I request Johnson to start further session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prakash. Thank you for having us. First of all, I would like to welcome all the participants that who are a part of the webinar today. Before we get into the demonstration, Mr. Prakash, are you able to look at my screen?
Yes, yes.
Sure, sir. Just give me one moment and we can just go ahead and start the demonstration. Yeah, I think most of the attendees who are a part of the webinar are able to look at my screen. So first of all, I would like to thank all the participants who are a part of the webinar and also Mr. Prakash for arranging up this webinar. So my name is Zishan and I'm a trainer at Nexus, trainer and a consultant at Nexus Company. Nexus Company actually helps all the institutes with respect to increasing their research output. So basically the topic that we are going to discuss about today is about how do you write your research paper in an effective and in an efficient manner, right? So imagine a scenario where you as a researcher or you as an author or anybody who's doing any sort of a research, the first step in writing a research paper is starts by selecting a particular subject area. Now, you might be doing research in terms of physics, you might be doing research in terms of chemistry, biology, or it might be of any subject area, nanotechnology, Internet of Things, computer science-based research, or any subject area. Now, once you have chosen a particular subject area and once you have done the research, the first step about getting that research validated or to increase that research benefits, the first thing actually happens in getting that research published in any one of the journal that are available across the globe. Now, whenever you write a research paper, the first step is about writing a research paper, and the second thing is about getting it published in the journal. Now, whenever during this process, there are a lot of challenges that most of the authors today in the globe are facing. Now, these are some of the problems that we have figured out with all the surveys that we have been doing over the past 5 to 6 years. And I'll take you through each of this problem in detail, and I'll explain you how all the authors are actually facing this issue and how typeset is going to help all of the researchers or the authors to tackle these problems. Now, also, what we are going to do is we will go through the problems. We'll see how the software helps in solving these problems. And at the end of the session, we will have a question and answer session for almost about 15 to 20 minutes, where anybody who has a question, they can just click on this chat window and they can here. For anybody who has any questions at any point of time, you can just start posting it here, and we will answer all of these questions at the end of the session. Now, let's just start by understanding what are some of the most common problems that are faced by researchers today. So the first step, one of the most difficult problem that most of the researchers today face is with respect to formatting a particular research paper. Now imagine that you have chosen a research journal which is actually published by Elsevier. Now, if you have to write a paper for Elsevier, you actually need to convert your research paper into a Elsevier guideline. Now, if you just go online and probably do a very simple Google search, that guidelines for authors from Elsevier, this is the document that you actually need to go through. So before you write any article for an Elsevier journal, this is their formatting guidelines. So these are basically the submission guidelines that you actually need to understand. So most of the researchers today, after writing a research paper, they would have to spend almost a day or almost half a day or probably a day or two. Even for a few authors, it may take about a week as well, just to understand these guidelines and to just go ahead and apply this into your research paper. Now, the reason why it is important for formatting a research paper is because when you're writing a research paper for Elsevier, this might be a single research paper for you, but since Elsevier is a very big publisher, they might receive multiple amount of submission, multiple amount of articles. So the first step in which they would classify the documents is are these formatted according to the guidelines or are they not? So if your research article is not formatted according to the guideline, fortunately or unfortunately, Elsevier would just go ahead and reject that article, stating that you'll have to go ahead and reformat it again. Now, this is the most common scenario where most of the journals go through. Let me just hide this. Now, that is the problem that we are discussing about, that formatting takes a lot of time and manual effort. Now, what are the tools that are used in the research community today to write all of these research papers? There are multiple tools that you might be using. One is you might be using an MS Word, kind of an offline editor, or you might be using a Google Docs. You might be writing a research paper on that, or you might be using LaTeX, or you might be using Overleaf. Now, what are the problems in these kind of products that are there for writing these research articles? Now, if you take an example of Overleaf, just to write the thesis of a particular article, or just to write or to customize your title page, this is the number of line of codes that you actually need to write. So even after coding, you actually need to even type in your title page, like the name, the text, author name, and all of this. So we feel that this is actually a very big problem today in the research ecospace, because the researcher might be of different subject area. You might be writing a research paper in biology subject area where you haven't had any exposure towards writing a code. Just to write your research paper and to get published, you actually need to learn this coding. So these are some of the problems that are faced. Now, the next problem was actually the same that we have discussed, that the tools that are used today in the research ecospace to write all these research papers are LaTeX, Google Docs, or MS Word. So LaTeX has a huge learning curve. You might be aware that most of the participants or the attendees that we have today in the webinar are from different colleges or from different universities. Every college or the university has something called as LaTeX training sessions every year. We have been doing this kind of research and survey from the past 5 years, and that's what we have come to a conclusion, that every university or a college has something called as a LaTeX learning session, in which the colleges and the institutions give training to the researcher just to learn LaTeX, which would take a lot of time just to understand how LaTeX work and how to write your research paper. As I was mentioning to you, there are multiple things that when you're writing a research paper and when you're trying to submit it to a journal, there are multiple things that you need to take care of, such as whenever you are mentioning any reference within the text, you actually need to cite that particular reference. So currently, to cite that particular reference, you might be using any reference formatting tool such as Mendeley or Paperpile or EndNote, or it might be any such other reference tool. So only for the reference formatting, you would go to actually Mendeley, and then again for the paper formatting, you would come back to MS Word. So there is a context switch that happens between writing a research paper and formatting your references. That is one of the problems. And for the formatting, what you have to do is you have to go ahead and understand these guidelines, and then you will have to go ahead and format it on any one of the tool that you're using. And also, what do you mean by building research? So any of this tool doesn't give you a kind of an outline of how a particular template should look like. For an example, for Elsevier, the first thing has to be an abstract and the next thing has to be introduction, like this. For an example, if you look at this, you can see that it should start from introduction and then it should go with like configure printer should be this way, policy. All of this should be in a particular outline. So no tool today in the world is actually helping build your particular research. Now, and what is the other major problem that most of the authors or researchers today face? It is actually with respect to collaborating with all the co-authors. As you might be aware that a research article can be written by multiple co-authors. For an example, a paper might have 3 authors, a paper might have 5 authors as well. So collaborating with all of them is a very difficult task today. If you're doing it on Google Docs, it is an easier way of doing. But if you have to do it on Overleaf, or if you have to do it on MS Word, or if you have to do over an email, or you have to make sure that the other co-author is actually present physically, who's actually sitting next to you and looking at the paper. So this is where we felt that collaborating with all the co-authors also is a very difficult task in the research ecospace. Now, the other issue is getting document independently reviewed. So once you have written a research article, how you would actually go ahead and send it to a particular your guide who's actually helping you write a research paper. You might be writing a PhD thesis, or you might be writing a journal paper, for which you might have a guide through which you would actually need to get it reviewed. So you might face a lot of difficulties in getting that reviewed as well. So these are some of the common problems that are faced by most of the researchers across the globe today. And since we have told you that Typeset is actually a platform that helps authors write research papers effectively and efficiently, let's just see how does Typeset help and bridging this gap and solving all of these problems. So basically, what is Typeset? Typeset is basically an authoring platform for all the researchers. So Typeset is specifically built for writing research papers and for formatting research papers. So this is a tool that is specifically built for research purpose. Now, when you talk about MS Word or Google Docs, it can be used for multiple reasons. You might be using for writing an essay, or you might be using it for just to doing your normal calculations or anything like that. So basically, MS Word or Google Docs or any notepad, all of these are generic editors. They're not specifically meant for research. So Typeset is a platform that is built specifically for research and to cater the research problems that a researcher might go through. And as I mentioned to you, that typeset is built to eliminate the formatting needs. So during the demonstration, I'll take you through the demonstration in detail so that you will understand that how typeset will take care of the formatting needs. So this is where typeset plays a very huge role. So we have close to about 50,000 plus Scopus and Web of Science indexed journals on our platform. So you will be able to go ahead and choose any one of the journal that you're trying to write a research paper for. So if you just go ahead and search for a particular subject area, it might be physics, chemistry, nanotechnology, or it might be astrophysics, astrotechnology, or any such subject area or any such keyword, you can just go ahead and put it on a formats gallery, and the software will be able to give you a suggestion that these are the number of journals that we have, and you will be able to go ahead and write a research paper in any one of these formats. And how does it work? So basically it's a clutter-free editor. You do not need to do any sort of a coding. If you've written a research paper in an MS Word, you can directly upload it on typeset and format it accordingly. Or if you want to write your research paper from scratch on typeset, you can go ahead and do that as well. Now, you might be asking a question, how easy is it to add references, equations, figures, or tables? So anything that you've written on the research article, that and when you try to import that MS Word, all of that data would automatically get imported automatically without any issues. And we also have built in a very comprehensive editor that can help you add references, equations in a very easier format. And this is one of the most important feature, which is auto formatting your manuscript according to a journal guideline, so that all the templates that are available on the platform are built according to these guidelines. So whenever you choose a particular template, you're actually choosing all of these guidelines. So the software automatically formats all of the research paper according to the journal guidelines. Now, once you have formatted your research paper, you can directly go ahead, download that submission ready research papers, and go to the Elsevier website and straight away submit that research article. Now, the other one of the major issue that one of the major USP of the software is in terms of reformatting. As I was mentioning to you before, that Elsevier has a different guideline. So this is the guideline of Elsevier. Similarly, Springer has a different guideline. Now, by any chance, if your research article is rejected by Elsevier, most of the authors, they get dejected and they stop actually putting in efforts in terms of converting that research article into Springer guidelines, because it is a very manual effort and you would have to actually go ahead and spend a lot of time understanding these guidelines and again reformatting your research article into Springer guideline. Now, on typeset, that is a very easier task. You can reformat from one journal guideline to the other journal guideline within a span of about 30 seconds. Now, during the demonstration, I'll take you through the kind of a live example. I'll also show you about how you'll be able to collaborating between users. Now, before we discuss about product features, I'll take you directly to the platform that we have. Now, everybody who's a part of this webinar can just go ahead and sign in on our website, which is typeset.io. I'm just going ahead and pasting it here. So this is our website. So we have something called as a free trial that we have enabled for all the attendees that are a part of the webinar today. So anybody who wishes to have a kind of a free trial, they can just go ahead and subscribe for a free trial. Now, once you create an account for yourself, you can just go ahead and click on login. And once you click on login, put in your email address and the password that you have set, and just click on login. So the moment you click on login, you will actually land on the dashboard. So this is how the dashboard looks like. So all the documents that you've been recently working on would be a part of this dashboard here. So the first step starts by going to the formats gallery. So this is where most of the formats that we have are actually listed here. So you can see that currently we have about 50,000+ journal templates. So we have close to about 50,000 plus journal templates on the platform, ranging from different publishers to universities to conference templates. So you'll be able to choose any one of these templates that you want to write your research paper for. Now, for an example, let's just go ahead and put in as nanotechnology. I'm just putting in the name nanotechnology, and you can see that the moment I put in the keyword, you can see all the journals which are related to nanotechnology would actually start appearing here. You can see that this is how the software would be able to suggest you all the different journals that you can write a research paper for if you're writing in the subject area of nanotechnology. Similarly, if you're writing for something in astrophysics, you can just put in your name as you can search for astrophysics. You can see here that whenever I'm searching for astrophysics, these are the suggestions that it gives. You can see that we have about 40 journals under the name astrophysics. So you'll be able to go ahead and choose any one of this journal, if anything that you would want to write a research paper for. Now, if you have any journal, for an example, let's say American Institute of Physics, if you know the name of the journal, and even if you search that, you would have that on our formats gallery. You can see American Institute of Physics in the publisher. So this is how their template should look like. So whenever you're writing a research paper for American Institute of Physics, the Journal of Physics of Fluids, this is how the submission format should be looking like. Now for the demo purpose, let's just say Sage Nanotechnology Journal. Let's just search if we have anything in nanotechnology from Sage, and then we will try formatting that according to. Let's just go ahead and pick up this journal, which is Nanomaterials and Nanotechnology in Allied Academics Publications. So if you look at that design, so this is how the document should be formatted accordingly. So the moment you choose a particular template, what you have to do is you just have to click on use format with. Now, if you've already written a research paper on an MS Word, just upload that research paper. You click on upload my MS Word, you search for the document, and then you just upload that particular research article. You can see that once you upload the research article, so we have built an artificial intelligence engine which would actually understand the schematics of your document and break it into multiple blocks. Now, once the article has been processed by the AI engine, so there is a four simple step process which you have to just go ahead and do it. So you click on Let's Go, and then you choose the title. You click on the first title, and then you click Save and Continue. After that, you click on Authors and Affiliations, and then you click Save and Continue. And after that, you select Abstract, you click on Save and Continue. And then on the references, you select the first reference, and then you go back to the last reference. And you click Save and Continue. Once you have done all of this, you just have to click on Preview Formatted Document. And now you will see that this document, which was kind of an unformatted document, or not according to nanomaterials and nanotechnology guidelines, would automatically get converted into a guidelines of nanomaterials and nanotechnology. Also, kindly pay attention here, where you can see that the name of the authors is actually jumbled up, where the name of the authors is actually at the last, but now you'll see that the software would automatically correct it and placed it according to the journal guideline. Now you can see that for an example, you can see here the name is automatically appearing in the, you can see here that it would automatically appear at the first. So the software has the capabilities of automatically converting it. Now, if you wish to make any editing on this document, you can just go ahead and click on Edit on Typeset, and then you will land on the editor. So this is where you will be able to go ahead and make any changes on the document that you want to do. So it would take generally about 30 to 60 seconds, and the software would, so you would actually land on the editor. So you can see this is where you will be able to go ahead and add any content you want. So I'm just deleting this content and I'm adding it in the right place like this. So you can see all your content has automatically been migrated like this. So this is how the software automatically migrates all the content. So if you've already written it, the software would automatically go ahead and just migrate all the content. Now post that, what you have to do is, so always the caption of the figures will actually be at the end of the figure. So you just have to cut it and paste it in the right space. Similarly for this, you just cut it and you paste it in the right space. You select this and just delete the unwanted table. Similarly, if you would wish to make any citation of the document, now you can see that the name of the authors is actually appearing here. So if you wish to make the citation, you can just click here, and from the citation bar, all the references would automatically get migrated. But by any chance, if it doesn't get migrated, what you can do is you can just copy them and automatically paste it in the right space. For an example, let's just click here. Now you can click on import or add references, and if you can copy paste it from the MS Word, you can just come here and paste the references. Similarly, we give you an option to import the references from Mendeley or Zotero. If you have a BibTeX file, you can just come and copy all your references. You can just upload that bib file here. Or if you want to add a BibTeX code, so you can just go ahead and copy a BibTeX code here. Similarly, if you would want to add all of the references individually, you can just go ahead and add, like you can choose from this option that is this a journal article, or is this a thesis, conference paper, proceeding, book, or anything like that. Now, since we have added, it might take about 30 to 60 seconds, and after that, all of these references would automatically get added. Now, if you wish to go ahead and cite a particular image or a table, you will just go ahead and click on cite reference. And sorry, let's click on cite a table. You can see cite a figure. So wherever you wish to add a figure, you can just go ahead and click on cite, and then from figure, you'll be able to choose whichever figure that you would want to cite. If you want to cite on the figure 1 or figure 2, you can just click on this and the figure 1 gets cited. Similarly for table, if you wish to go ahead and do, like you have figure 2 here, let's just delete this and then let's cite another figure 2. Now you can see that the references are successfully added to the cite section. I'll show you how the references would look like. Now we wanted to cite a figure here. I'm clicking on figure and then I'm clicking on figure 2. This gets cited. Similarly, you have the name of the reference here. You click on link citation and then you search for the reference Fisher. It will take some time, probably about 30 seconds. And then all of the references would automatically get showing up here. Now, once you have completely migrated all the content, now what you have to do is you just go ahead and do a click on output. The moment you click on output, the software would automatically convert it according to Allied Academics publication, nanomaterials and nanotechnology format. So it is taking some time. Let me just refresh this. So it would generally take about 30 to 60 seconds depending on the internet connectivity that you have. I'm just going back to the dashboard and opening up the document once again so that it just refreshes. Yeah, so this was the same document that we had uploaded. Now you can see that I'm just going ahead and refreshing that. Now here, what we had done is for this particular article, we had actually applied a IEEE format. Now I'll show you an example that how it would automatically convert. Now we also were discussing about how do you add a particular equation, right? For an example, if you wish to add a line equation, inline equation or a standalone equation, you can just go ahead and click wherever you'd want to add, move the cursor, click on insert, and then choose an equation. If you would want to add an inline or a standalone, you just go ahead and click on inline or standalone. Let's just do an inline equation. So this is how the equation editor opens up. So this is a very comprehensive equation editor with all the mathematical functions that we have already built into the software. You have different matrices. If you're writing a chemistry paper, so we have all the chemical elements already inbuilt within the software like this. After you just have built your equation, you just click on this wrong mark and this equation would automatically get added similar to this. So if equation is already a part of the document, all the equations would automatically get migrated to. Now, if you wish to go ahead and cite this particular reference, let me just go ahead and cite, and now you can see that all the references are actually showing up here. You just need to search for the name Hosseini, Hosseini, and then cite this particular reference. You also have an option to change the style from author year, from author comma year, author or year, like this. Now, once you have completely, you can see that the figure 2, figure 1 and everything is automatically, we have cited the figure 1. And then once you know that my document is completely ready for being, is completely ready, you just click on output. The moment you click on output, now what the software is doing is the software is automatically converting it according to a IEEE format. You can see this is how the document looks like. Let me just go ahead and click on this and then click on download and download a PDF. I'll show you the MS Word document that I had uploaded. Then I'll also show you the PDF that we have processed. You can click on open. Now this is the PDF that we have generated. You can see that all the references that were a part of the, you can see that the references are not appearing at the moment, but you can just go ahead and click on the references and all the citation references would automatically show in like this. So this is how the formatting has happened. Now, if you go ahead and open the document that I had uploaded, so this was the document. You can see that this is a single column document, but automatically the software has converted that into a 2-column document according to the guideline of the journal like this. Now, if you wish to make any additional settings, such as if you wish to go ahead and add a kind of a line numbers, or if you wish to go ahead and add like a particular line number, or if you any such specifications, you can just go ahead and do that as well on the platform. So it is just taking some time to load. So now once you click on output, you will have an option to do settings on the document. So these, after doing an output, you can just click on these 3 dots and click on download and choose any one of these formats that you would want to download. So generally these 4 formats that you look at the top, the PDF, LaTeX, DocX, and ZIP, will be available for authors. Most of these features are for the publishers, the journals who actually use typeset. Now, if you wish to download a LaTeX, just select on LaTeX and then download. If you wish to download a DocX, select the DocX and then download the DocX file. Now, since we have clicked on output, you can see here in this option where you can move all the tables and the figures at the end. Right now, you can see that all the images and the tables are actually wherever they were the part of the document. Now, if you wish to move them at the last, you can just click here and you can click both at the bottom. And now you can see that the line number settings has not been applied. If you want, you can just go ahead and apply as numbered on left or numbered on right, like this. And now you can see that the table of contents is not generated, but if you wish to go ahead and add it, you can click on yes, and then it would automatically add it. And also, you also have an option to change the bibliographic style or the journal style from APA to AMA, numbered, or any such changes that you would actually want to do it on the platform. Now, once we have all done this, you just have to go ahead and do a refresh preview. And now, so this was the document that we had downloaded. Now, I'll just show you another PDF in which all the figures and the tables will actually be at the bottom. And you can see that the line number settings has automatically been added. Since we enabled the table of contents, you can see that the table of content is also appearing in here. And at the end, you can see that all the figures and the images on the tables are actually at the end of the document, like this. So this is how you'll be able to go ahead and use typeset in terms of formatting a research article into the guideline of a particular journal. Now, after doing all of this, by any chance, if IEEE rejects your particular article, how do you go ahead and change it into some other journal template? Now let's click on change format, and then we will again go back to the formats gallery. Let's search for a journal from Springer. Whenever you click on Springer, you will have multiple journals that you have that you can write the research paper for. Let's just go ahead and click on current genetics. You click on view, and then you see this is their particular template. And then you just click on use this format. Now, once I change, right now you can see that the template has been changed to Springer current genetics. Now, once you have changed, what you have to do is just go ahead and click on output. And now the software would automatically convert it according to the guidelines of Springer journal. Now, once the output is generated, you will actually be able to notice that the change. You can see now that this is how the document of Springer format looks like. So since we had made all of these settings, let's just make it on default, because generally all the settings that are there as default would actually are the guidelines of the journal. You can see that all the settings here would be made journal default. Now, whenever we create a template, we have to actually make all of these default settings so that whenever you add So whenever you would actually add, all of the settings would actually according to the journal guideline. Now, once you have made all the default settings, you just do on refresh preview, and then the same document would actually get converted into a Springer guideline. This is how the same article looks like. Now you just click on download and download it as PDF. You can see, so this was the article that we processed according to IEEE. Now this is the article that has been processed according to Springer format. So this is how the software would actually help you in formatting your research article from one journal guideline to the other journal guideline. It also takes care of the reformatting. Now there was another problem that we were actually discussing, that is about collaboration with the guide or with the co-authors. So you have something called as a share button here. The moment you click on it, you can just go ahead and invite, since I had invited Mahesh, you can just go ahead and invite any of the co-authors that you actually want to invite on the platform. Like if you have a guide who's really busy in his work, you can just go ahead and invite anybody else as well. Let's say I'm just inviting myself, Zishan at typester.io, and then I click on invite. So you will have an option to give them the kind of a different access, whether you can give them an edit access, suggestion access, or view access. So if I give on can suggest option, and they will actually receive a link in which whenever they click, they'll actually land on a kind of a platform which would look like this. So whatever they would write, it would actually turn into green. Like this. And if they suggested to go ahead and delete any content, it would actually look like this. Now you as an author, when you actually go back and log in, since you are the editor of the document, you have an access either to go ahead and accept it or to delete it. Now, if you go ahead and accept this, this would actually turn into black like this. Now, if you just go ahead and accept this as well, this is the content would automatically get deleted like this. So you can see that the collaboration can directly happen online on the platform. So while you're writing a paper, you can directly invite your author, the co-author, or the guide who can actually help you with his suggestions directly on the platform. Now, this is how you'll be able to go ahead and use typeset for collaboration, for formatting your research articles, and according to the journal guideline. So since we have a lot of authors from different universities and colleges, you might be responsible for writing a lot of dissertation or thesis templates, or you might be responsible for writing a lot of papers for conferences. Now, if you wish to convert the same journal paper into a thesis or a conference paper, you can even do so. So you can click on change format. Now we have one of our client by the name Rajaram Bapu of Rajaram Bapu Institute of Technology, RIT, who has been using typeset since the last few years. Now they actually have the thesis template on our platform. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just clicking on change format, and I'll convert the same article into a thesis template, and then I'll show it to you how it would actually look like. So you can see now I'm actually in the formats gallery. I have to just go ahead and search on RIT thesis. And you can see that this thesis template for RIT. You can see the moment I click on the thesis template for RIT, this is how the template looks like. Now I'm just clicking on use this format. And once I click on use this format, that particular template would automatically be applied to your particular research article. Now, once the template would have been applied, what you have to do is you just have to go ahead and click on output. Now, the moment you click on output, the software would automatically convert that research article into the thesis guideline of Rajaram Bapu Institute of Technology. You can see that this is how the document has been generated. Now, if you wish to go ahead and add any such number as the roll number or the degree, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you here. You can click on cover details and you can add name of degree. So right now the name of degree is not appearing here. Let's add it as BTech. Let's add it at Department of Electronics. Let's add branch as telecommunications. And if you would want to add a date as probably let's say 21/10/2020 or submission year as 2020, you just add all of this data and then do a refresh preview. Once you have whatever changes that you would actually make here, after doing that, you just have to go ahead and click on refresh preview, and all of this data would automatically be applied to the document. Now, initially, the BTech in telecommunications is not appearing here. You can see that it's automatically appearing. Similarly, you will have an option to add the roll number here as well. You can see that the certificate and all of these things has automatically been added. Now, once you know that my thesis has been ready, you just go ahead and download this particular thesis and then just go ahead and get this printed. You click on download it as PDF, and then just go get this printed and submit it to your particular respective institutions, and you have your thesis ready. So the same journal has been formatted into a thesis template like this. Now, similarly, if you wish to go ahead and change it to a conference template, so if you are writing if you want to convert this journal paper into a conference, such as IEEE conference or an HR conference or an EIP conference, you can just go ahead and do that as well. So under conferences, we have multiple templates. You can just go ahead and choose any one of these templates. Like we have academic journal conferences, or let's say IEEE conferences, Academy of Applied and Engineering Research. Let's just go ahead and click. You can see here that from this particular journal, you can choose this format. And then when you click on view format, this is how their conference template should look like. Then you click on use this format. And similarly, the same journal article would now actually get converted into a conference template. So within a span of about 30 seconds, you will be able to go ahead and convert it into a conference template. Now you can see that the template has been applied as a conference template. You click on output and then just go ahead and download it into a PDF. So this is how the document has been converted into a conference template of Academy of Applied and Engineering Research. And then click on this download and download it as a PDF. Now we also have an inbuilt check for plagiarism feature. You can see here that whenever you click on this file would automatically be sent for check for plagiarism. So since we had actually clicked on it, it had already been sent. Now you can see that the plagiarism report is available. You click on this download and then you will see that this is how the content looks like. So you'll actually have a result, you'll have a document with all the color coding done, which would actually indicate the level of plagiarism. Now you can see when I'm opening this particular document, you can see this is the according to the conference template of Academy of Applied and Engineering Research. Also, when we are talking about the plagiarism report, so this is how the plagiarism report would look like, with the percentage of similarity, what percentage of citations, and what percentage of references. We can see here. So if you have an institutional subscription to Turnitin, or if you're using any other plagiarism software, you can just go ahead and use that as well. But by any chance, if you do not have any kind of a plagiarism check, you can just go ahead and download it like this. You can go ahead and download it from here. So this is how, as you can see here, we actually took care of the plagiarism. We took care of formatting it into a particular guideline. So this was the IEEE that we formatted into. This was the article with table of contents and line numbering. This was the article according to Springer template. This was according to the thesis format of RIT. This was the document according to a conference template. So this is how you will be able to go ahead and use the software with respect to writing your research paper into multiple journals. Now, if you click on just change format, so Typeset is not only helping you write your research paper, but we are also helping you in journal discovery. Also, we are helping you in increasing your chances of your paper being published in any one of these journals that you're writing a research paper for. But just for an example purpose, let's say let's just have mathematics, right? Now, when you search for mathematics, you can see that there are about 810 journals that you can write a research paper for. So if you're writing a research paper in terms of a keyword called as a mathematical. If you're writing in terms of a subject area as mathematics, you can just go ahead and put in here, and then you will be able to search all the journals that you can write your research paper for. You can choose any one of the journals that you want to research paper for. Let's say if you choose this particular journal, now this rejects your paper, you can go ahead and format it into this or this or this or any one of the journal template that you want to write for. So basically what we're doing is we are doing reformatting. We're helping you in terms of reformatting. We're helping you in terms of formatting. We're also helping you in terms of journal discovery. At the end, we also are helping you in terms of journal discovery. So we believe that the researcher should only do research, and the formatting and all such reformatting has to be taken care by a software like Typeset. So this is how you will be able to go ahead and use Typeset and format your particular research articles. So now we will just go ahead and stop this live demonstration, and then we will jump on the questions that you might have had. And you can, anybody who has any small questions, or it might be small or big, just feel free to put in the chat corner, in the chat option, and then I'll be able to go ahead and then I'll just go ahead and answer them one by one. So is there, let's just scroll and see if there are any questions here. So we will just go ahead and keep answering all of your questions. Let me just, so Pooja Bafila, is this free applications? Yes, we do have a free trial as well, but that is limited to only about 1,000 words. So it will only help you format it up to 1,000 words. That is the only thing. And then please type journals of harassment and search. Okay, Dr. Sunil Kute, let me just go ahead and search for it. If we have that template on the platform, we will be able to go ahead and search that as well. Journal of harassment. So currently we do not have that particular template. Now, if you want us to add that particular template, you can just go ahead and request us, and we'll be able to add that particular research article or that particular journal within a span of about 7 working days. Kindly share with us the PPT at the end of the session. So we have a kind of a YouTube channel from Nexus company. I request Mahesh to put in the address of the YouTube Nexus channel. So anybody who would want to have a look at this recording or this webinar again, they can just go ahead and look at it on the YouTube channel. Is it possible to check plagiarism check with this? Ravindra Munje, yes, I showed to you that you can just click on check for plagiarism, and then you'll be able to go ahead and check for plagiarism. And then let's go on the other questions. Can the link be shared to anyone? I mean, for collaboration, yes. So since it is a personal choice of the authors, so it is up to them that they can share it with anybody whom they wish for. If you want to change it, share it with the author, you can do it. If you want to share it with the guide, you can share it. If you want to share it with anybody else, you can even do that as well. So Pooja Bafila, is this free for lifetime? So as I mentioned to you that the free would only be for about 1,000 word limit. It would, if you would want to write above 1,000, then you will have to actually go ahead and subscribe for a premium account. So if you want to subscribe for a premium account, we would recommend going for an institutional subscription, because with institutional subscription, you will have an access to add multiple templates that are not a part of the formats gallery, or you would also get priority support and all such features in the institutional subscription. How many articles can we do with the trial, sir? As I mentioned to you, the trial will only have access to about 1,000 articles. Rahul Khosle, all the UGC careless journal is available for the same. So you might find a lot of journals which are already under the UGC care list. But any journal that are not a part of the UGC, what we can do is we can just go ahead and add that as well. Yeah, Nana Sahib Gurule, can we create our own customized format? Absolutely, yes. As you can see that for RIT, we have built a customized template for them. Similarly, if anybody would want to make any sort of a customization template, we can just go ahead and build that for you as well. So our publishing experts will help you in terms of building that particular customization of the template. Now, feedback link. Everybody who has attended this webinar will be receiving the feedback link in which they can just go ahead and put in their feedback. Vidya R, for example, if I want to format my manuscript in the journal, International Journal of Imaging Technologies, is it not available when I tried now? So for an example, if the template is not there, you will have to go ahead and have a premium subscription. Now with the premium subscription, what you have to do is you have to just go ahead. After that, if you do not find that template, you can request us and we will be able to go ahead and build that template on the typeset gallery. Umesh Gaikwad, can we find out the most cited papers of our area using this application? No, but the software only helps you in formatting. The citing paper and all, that data would not be available on the platform. Santosh Kumar Nath Sharma, is there any template for transactions of the Indian Institute of Metals? I think I would recommend you just go ahead and search for it. You should be able to, you should be able to go ahead and find that. Is there limitations on the number of pages? Absolutely no. So there are no limitations at all. You can just go ahead and write unlimited number of papers and unlimited number of pages. What are the subscription charges? For subscription charges, everybody can just go ahead and visit typeset.io/pricing, and then you will have information on the pricing information. Mr. Sanjay J. Shanmare, please quote for the institution. Please get in touch with Mr. Mahesh. Mahesh will actually help you in terms of the subscription charges. Is all Scopus index journals available in the typeset? Yes, Vidya, we almost have all the index journals. And if there are any journals that are not in the list, we'll be able to add it once you will have a premium account with us. Yeah, data security, Joseph Ratish, you can just go ahead and visit our website. So we have a very comprehensive page that we built in terms of the security practices and the privacy practices that we follow on Typeset. So just to give you a kind of a blurb, we use some of the best state-of-the-art technology that we have in that most of the banks today use, like JP Morgan, ENY, all of these banks which use the security, we use the same security measures and we follow the same security patterns. You can just go ahead and visit our page, which will have a comprehensive answer on that. Now, we also have a Telegram group link where whenever we have any sort of webinar sessions on the research, you will keep getting all the upcoming posts in the group. If anybody wishes to be a part of this group, they can just click on this and be a part of the group. How many articles can we do with the trial? As I told you that you will have you can have multiple articles, but there will always be a word limit of 1,000 words. So with the premium subscription, you can create unlimited number of articles in a month. Nana Sahib Gurule, is plagiarism done by TEPSET well accepted by publishers? Absolutely yes. So we are integrated with Unicheck. Unicheck is our plagiarism partner. So most of the publishers today either use Unicheck or they use Turnitin or they use any other such plagiarism softwares. So we have been used by some of the top institutions in India, such as IITs, IIMs, all the prestigious institutions, and also colleges in the US, such as Stanford, Montana University, University of Berkeley, ETH Zurich, and all of these universities actually use our software. So you can be assured that most of the research articles that they have written are already been published by the journals. So all the plagiarism check and everything that we write, that we provide will easily be accepted by the publishers. So if anybody has any more questions, you can just go ahead and put it on the chat box and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Yeah. So, Mr. Prakash, I think most of the attendees have already asked the question. So, I would. So, should we wait for a few minutes, or should we just go ahead and stop the webinar?
No, question is so question is over. You can stop the webinar. Thank you very much, Amma sir, for giving a nice presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I also would want to thank the institution for giving us an opportunity to conduct a webinar. Also to Mr. Prakash Bodke, Mandar Joshi, Siddesh Gaikwad from Nexus, and also Mr. Mahesh, the director of Nexus, for arranging this session. We hope that we'll also be hosting many other webinars in your institutions for different topics, not only in terms of writing a research, but also in terms of any other challenges that you might be facing. So you can visit our website and look at all the information there. And if you have any questions, or if you're looking for institutional subscriptions, please get in touch with Mr. Mahesh, and he'll be the right person to help you with the information. So we're just going ahead and stopping this we are just ending this webinar.
Okay.
And
My request to all participants, please fill your feedback and submit it so that we can give certificates.
Yeah. So also with respect to certificates, so you have something called, so all the participants who are a part of the webinar will actually receive a feedback link. So once you fill in the feedback form, then the certificate will automatically get generated, and you should be able to receive it. So post this, I request Mr. Mahesh to go ahead and send a feedback link. And I think the feedback link is already been posted in the chat box here. Please go ahead and put in your feedback, and then we'll be able to go ahead and help you with the participation certificate.
Nice, nice.
Sure. So I thank the institution and also all the participants who are a part of the webinar. We look forward to hosting you in the near future. So wishing you guys have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.